Hey guys. Okay. I finally got all my batteries charged. Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I am your host, Angelina Wilson. I did just get another case, a case for next month. And ironically, the mother's name is Angelina. So they just put out an age progression of this particular child after 45 years. Not this child, the child in the case that I will be doing next month. This is the case of James Patrick Taylor. He was from Australia. He disappeared at the age of 12 from Derby, Western Australia, on the 29th of August, 1974. In 2014, a coroner ruled that James, who was Aborigines, had died but was unable to determine when or how. In 2023, in May, a $1 million reward was offered for information relating to his disappearance. He was last seen late in the afternoon of the 29th of August, 1974, having gone to a local store called Lowoy's Deli, L-W-O-Y, apostrophe S, to buy lollies and soft drinks. Now, I don't know if lollies are lollipops or popsicles. In this case, somebody will have to tell me, for himself and his siblings. He was barefoot wearing his school uniform. That's funny. His family wasn't concerned the first night because they thought maybe he spent the night at a friend's house. Wouldn't that friend's parent have called you and said, "Is it okay if your kid spends the night?" I mean, I don't know. Wait a minute. His family started searching for him the following day, but his father didn't report him missing to the police until the 5th of September. Okay, so we have the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. A week later? There was a witness who said, I'm going to say they because I don't know if it was a male or female, had seen a four-wheel drive truck with a man. It was open on the back, carrying a 44-gallon drum, and claimed that James had gotten into the truck. The Western Australia Police Force their investigation concluded in 1979. Are you serious? In 2006, the Western Australia Special Crimes Squad re-examined the case, and in October of that year, his family watched a television documentary about convicted child killer James Ryan O'Neill called The Fisherman: Journey into the Mind of a Killer. Was produced by journalist Janine Widgery. When they learned on that show that O'Neill had been living in Derby at the time of their son's disappearance. After the review in December of 2006, the senior constable identified 3 suspects, O'Neill being one of them. He also recommended 28 investigative opportunities to be pursued. Um, they felt that it was a low to medium risk to the community because O'Neill was imprisoned, another suspect was deceased, and a third suspect was over the age of 60 and hadn't committed a crime. And I'm going to say this, that they knew of since 1988. In 2011, the family once again urged them to take another look. In 2013, they made a report to the coroner's office, and there was a coroner's inquest in June of 2014. It lasted 3 days, from the 8th of October to the 10th of October. And O'Neill actually did speak at the inquest via some kind of CCTV from the Tasmanian prison where he was being held. Because for those of you who don't know, Tasmania is part of Australia. It's an island outside of the main island, which is the largest island on the planet. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Australia is the largest island, the largest single island. And said he didn't do it. Of course he did. Police felt he ran away from home because his father was an alcoholic and was abusive. But the whole family said he wasn't a violent man. And until his death, he never stopped looking for his son. Her mother began drinking after, so says his sister Heather. Her mother started drinking after his disappearance and cried for years. And the documentary maker, Janine Widgery, also spoke at the inquest, or gave evidence, as they call it, about her documentary about O'Neill. And she expressed that she wanted to follow up a potential association between O'Neill and the missing Beaumont children. Said O'Neill had only agreed to being part of the program until the guise of the worm farm he owned, under the guise of the worm farm he owned, while in prison and his trips around Australia. They believed it was beyond all reasonable doubt that he was deceased. And they were just pleased that Jimmy's case, as they called him, remained open. In May of 2023, a $1 million reward was being offered. Taylor's other sister, Lynn Henderson Yates, accused the police of failing to properly investigate her brother's disappearance, especially the possible involvement of James Ryan O'Neill. Hey guys, I lost the end of my video. Thankfully, not much of it. At the end, I was talking about how his sister felt that the case, and others felt that the case was not, oh my goodness, handled the way it should have been and would have been had he not been Aboriginal. So, and I was talking also about Western Australia. It's not a geographical area, it's a state. We don't say, oh, disappeared in the Western United States. Where would that be? Idaho? Washington? Oregon? California? Yeah, Idaho? We don't do that. But we will tell you state. And Western Australia is a state, not a geographical area. So I cleared that up as well in the video. For those not familiar with Australia and how Australia works. They, like us, have states. I'm sorry this video is so late. I actually went and did laundry today with my aide, so. And I've got food beeping away. So that's what I was talking about when the camera died and I knew that last bit of footage would be lost. I was also talking about one of the three suspects, the child serial killer, who, as I mentioned, was a potential suspect in the Beaumont case and another case I was not familiar with. So, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you Friday. By the way, our file system that I'm working on for Kidmissing is going great. Once it's completed, I'll make a video on the channel and show the file system that I have created. It's going to make things so much easier. So, I hope you'll join me for that. Probably next week. Because I have a big weekend at the Historical Society on Saturday. And I hope you'll join me if you're local. I'm going to be talking about our apothecary, which is the predecessor to the pharmacy of today. That's 11 a.m. We're open from 10 to 2. Bye, guys.